Hey everyone, happy Monday and welcome back to another Memoir Minute with me, the CEO and founder of The Right Place, Right Time, an award-winning author and an international book coach and ghostwriter. This is the place to learn how to write a memoir a couple minutes at a time. And today I have to be particularly snappy as I am off the grid and the internet connection is a little unstable, which is the best way for it to be when you're trying to unplug, get centered, and get clear on where you're heading in business and in life, which is what I'm doing out here in the Adirondacks of New York. So today we're talking about getting yourself a writing guide. Now, we've been talking over the last however many weeks about the different tools and resources that you should have in your toolbox as you are working on a manuscript. Today we're talking about a writing guide. Now, I'm not talking in this instance about a book or a piece of paper that is guiding you through the process. Though I will say that reading books like the one that you want to write is a really good thing. And so is having handy dandy desk references available as you are going. And truthfully, the desk reference that you're going to want to have as a guide to the manuscript development process is this one, my newest book that I co-authored with the fabulous Bridget McCowan Hawkins at Press 49 called Do Not Write a Book Until You Read This One. But I digress. The type of guide that we're talking about today is a person, a coach, a editor, a book doctor, a book Sherpa. Like there's all kinds of names for the people who help along the path to publication in the industry, but they're all guides in a sense. They are there walking with you along the path. They might be helping with outlining or conceptualizing. They might be helping with strategy. They might be helping with developing the manuscript. Their goal is to help you advance towards your mission of finishing the book and to do it well and right. Now, how that works or looks can be different depending on where you are in the writing process. If you are into drafting the manuscript, then you might, right, need somebody who is going to be more of an editorial support for you because you're trying to get the actual pages written and done well. If you're at the beginning stages and you're having a hard time focusing or filtering your ideas down, then you might need more of a coach with a strategy like brain and the ability to pull those ideas out from you to help you focus and filter in what you should be doing with the book before you actually start writing it. So, on the other side of things, the manuscript is done, but you're not sure what to do with it next. You might need a publishing strategist and somebody who knows the different avenues that you can go down to get the book out there into the world. So who you need, what you need, the type of guide that you need and what they do can be based on where you are in the journey and what your sticking points or barriers are at that phase. Now, people who work with me, they're like, oh my gosh, how does anybody do this on their own? And a lot of the people who work with me are either coming at the very beginning part of the process where they are just barely sitting down with the idea and trying to get clear and focused and organized, or they're coming to me in the early stages of drafting. Either they've just begun or they're gearing up to get done the first draft, but they know that there's revisions to do. So I'm happening kind of early on in the writing process. And so my goal with them, right, is to really ensure that they've crossed T's and dotted I's. Their mindset is in the right place. Their strategy is in the right place. They know where they're heading with the book as a whole in the long run, but also where they're at with it currently. And they're developing a really sound manuscript. So they're learning a ton of information along the way. And so when they come to me and they're working with me in the early stages, realizing how much value they're getting by working with me from the very beginning, they don't understand how anybody gets to the other side all on their own. And I have to agree with them. I think it's a lot easier to maneuver writing a book for the first time when you've got somebody who knows what they're talking about, who can support you in all the different ways, from mindset to strategy to actual development. And that doesn't mean that all of us do all of those things. Some of us are a little bit further niched down, only dealing with certain aspects of that. I'm like a unicorn. I'm blending them all. So mindset, strategy, and manuscript development, as well as education, providing information and resources, and sometimes introductions and referrals to the person that you need next along the journey. So find yourself the right person to work with you. Might not be me, might be somebody else. You want to be looking for the people who can get behind your mission, who share similar values and perspectives, who really understand what you're trying to do with the book. You want somebody who's going to be detail-oriented and organized, honest in their feedback, reliable, somebody who is going to let you focus on the writing, meaning that you're not having to project manage them. They should be kind of guiding you and making sure that your job is a little bit easier as the writer. And there's a number of other things that I would recommend that they have as characteristics, qualities, or skills. And there's actually a blog post over on my website, therightplacerightTime.com, that is all about what to look for in choosing the right guide or book coach for you. Plus, if you do go and grab Do Not Write a Book Until You Read This One, there's a whole appendices section, and there's an appendix in there that talks about all the different people that you can come across on the path and what they do. And there's also a list of questions within that appendix of things that you can ask them when you're interviewing them to figure out if they're the right person and how that they work. So with all of that being said, I'm going to wrap it up here. So first and foremost, there will be another one of these coming up again next week. In the meantime, if you haven't grabbed your 5-step writing guide to starting and finishing a memoir, please go grab that over at therightplacerightTime.com. This is a different type of guide. This is a one-page handout that gives you the bird's eye view of the 5 steps along the path to publication. But if you really want to talk to an actual guide, a person, then please join me for a story stroll. I'd love to chat with you about your book and what's standing in your way and know a little bit more about you and your story. All right, that's a wrap for today. See you next time.